Hey, what's up, everybody? Gibberish here. Very exciting news tonight because we are releasing the Gibberish UI installer. Huge shout out to Eltreum. He's done so much in the background with programming and writing the code and helping me through this whole process of getting all of the different profiles that we've been working on, all the exciting ones that have been super popular, all into one installer. So this is up on tuckui.org now. I'll send out links to our Discord and to some of the other Discord channels. But I am beyond stoked to get this into an installer for everyone to use and to have fun with and to get prepared for 10.1. So huge shout out to Eltreum. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Blinky, the creator of M Media Tags. You know, without Eltruism and M Media Tags, the amazing textures and colors that are throughout all my profiles wouldn't be possible. So they've made some amazing add-ons and not possible without you. So thank you so much. And huge shout out to the community, to Trenchy, VXT, Maximum Overdrive, Fab, Miraculous, Kringle, everybody. They've had such a huge impact on UI creation. And the LVUI team has made all this possible too. So super excited. But the installer includes 5 different profiles, and I'm going to walk through each of them really quick for you guys. So let's hop right into the game. I'm going to quickly peruse the different profiles and give you a little taste of what things look like and how the installer works. Now, keep in mind, the installer is purely an LVUI profile installer. So it's not going to adjust your nameplates. I use Plater, for instance. The details profiles, you will still have to get those from the Discord. We eventually are going to add those into the installer, but that's more of like a phase 2. So more on that in the future. But again, Plater, details, bigwigs, those things aren't included. But I recommend going through Eltruism to get those. He has amazing profiles for each of those add-ons and many more, including like Warp Deplete and Immersion and several others. So I'll show you how to do that. But for now, we're just going to walk through the Gibberish UI. So when you first log in, Media Tag will pull up if you don't have this already. The things that will be needed in order for this to work, and that's also called out on the Tuck UI, but you'll obviously need LVUI. But you will also need to have Eltruism and M Media Tags. Those are the only add-ons that you'll need in order for Gibberish profiles to be loaded correctly and for everything to work properly. So hopping right into it, hit continue. Try to make this as easy as possible. The 5 profiles are Kaith, Info Panel, Minimal Setup, Portrait Mode, and VXT as the final. This one's my favorite personally. I think the colors that VXT has made through the Eltruism they really stand out. They're different than these other profiles. But anyways, we'll walk through each one of these and give you a taste. So bear with me. I'm gonna go one by one. You can hit the Discord again. Other profiles, including Plater, details, a YouTube video on my bigwigs if you want to get it set up like mine. It's all there. So please join the Discord. Go to my YouTube. I have a ton of videos through going through each of these add-ons too and giving you some like gameplay action to help you see what this looks like. But yeah, join the Discord. Hit up my YouTube. Give me a like, subscribe. Would appreciate it. So after you go through the process for Kaith, for instance, you'll hit finish, things are going to reload, and this will apply my private settings, like the borders now that are coming in. On every single profile, this new game bar is going to be there. This is through Eltruism. You can disable this by coming into LVUI and going to Data Text, Panels, in here. You can take this off. You can use the XIV data bar that kind of looks like Toxie in the Wonder Bar. That's been popular. I use that in some of my add-ons, but I'm going to be moving forward with just using Eltruism. There's a lot you can customize here. including just like each button. So you can come in here, disable it if you want. You can change each of these bars up, change the sizing, whatever you want. But I wanted to quickly touch on that because this is included now in every single profile. So this is the Kaith edit. This is fairly new that we've set up. Kaith is a longtime UI designer from like back in BC, and he still does work today, and he has this set up with for Wrath of the Lich King Classic. He does not use ElvUI. He actually uses some other different add-ons. I think it's Pitbull that he uses for Uniframes, but I loved the setup. A lot of inspiration from him. This is actually some of the inspiration that I think VXT got when he created his profile, and that I've kind of made my own a little bit too. So this one's pretty awesome. The Caspar icon covers the class icon when you come in. So super excited about this. Let's go back into the installer. Actually, before I do, I'll show you some of the unit frames, what this looks like. So let's go into party. Show the raid. Took off the class icons for the raid just to kind of consolidate the frames into one place. It'd be a little bit too chunky, but you can make some adjustments to the width and height of the raid frames if you'd like. So that's the Kaith edit. That's all I'll show for now. You can come in here and play with it as well. Again, make this your own too. If you want to make some adjustments, again, to like the height of the frames or the text, have at it. I'm going to make another video about that and how you can customize Gibberish UI and Eltruism and anything else to your own liking. So hop back into Gibberish UI, go through the installer again. Info panel. This is one of the first more popular profiles that I had made. Still something I use today. Still love this profile a lot. Caspar is in a little bit different area. Different from Kaith. This profile includes the gradient names. I'll just open the unit frames quickly. If you look at this. This also includes some of the M media tag custom icons for roles. Has the buff icons on top of the frames, debuffs right inside, and then the raid debuff indicator here on the side. Again, if you want to make any changes, you can come in here to buffs, debuffs, raid frames. Caspars, or sorry, not Caspars, action bars are a little bit different on each of the profiles as well. So something that you can customize yourself as well, but just keep in mind on some of the profiles, the action bars are hidden. So you just come into ElvUI, action bars, player bars. Some profiles will be mouse over. Others will look like this. I also, in most of my action bars, will uncheck the keep size ratio, and so this is what they would normally look like, but I actually have them a little bit smaller and cropped. It's what I do with my weak auras as well, so I try to match the theme with my action bars to my weak auras. A lot you can do here to change up if you don't like it. Back into here, into the installer. Check out the minimal. This was Pash inspired. I went on to Wago and just looked at some of the top profiles. And Pash is pretty active in the Tuck UI Discord as well, and I've always loved his profiles. But I was going through Wago and came across his profile, and I just loved how minimal it was. And I've just kind of made it a little bit different, where I've added some gradient names, some text over the player frame and target frame. I brought up this bar as this is where I put like some of my potions and health stones. You can go in and, again, a lot you can do here to customize, but you can disable this. I believe this is player bar 6. So you can make this mouse over if you wanted to, or you can just disable this completely. And for now, for this video, I'll just disable it. And what's really cool about this, can maybe try and find a higher spot to take some damage, or find one of these Blackrock wargs. But something I changed on the Uniframes is the background. So I made a nice custom through Eltruism gradient background of the class. Run away! He's still coming. Let's just kill him. He's low enough. Now he's running away. We'll move on into the next profile. Or before I do, I'll show you the party frames again with some of the M media tag role icons, a little bit different with some of the color here. But now you can see some of the class background that we've added. Raid frames. I love the patch edit because the raid frames and party frames are so good, so tight. This is one of my favorite profiles. And it goes nicely into the next profile, which is portrait mode, as this was built off of the patch edit. So all we did here, I'll reload to show this. All we did here is go into the patch mode and resize the frames. I added the power bars there, the gradient names, and then the portrait mode, and just kind of customize where I place the portraits. So this is another awesome profile, another one I use all the time. I guess I use all of my profiles all the time. Change between polls. But I'll give a little tease of the Uniframes here. Go into group, party. And if you don't want the portrait mode in the party frames or even in the player, all you have to do is go into that specific unit, go into portrait, and disable it. Something else that you can do here is come into custom text, and you can add in some health numbers if you want. I have some that are available right here, or you can actually go into available tags and look at some others that Eltruism has, the M media tag has, and ones that are just included within LVUI. So the frames for the portrait mode are going to be almost identical to Pash, but it has these power bars on the party frame. But the raid frames look almost exactly the same, which is awesome. Now the last night, and I would say the most exciting one, is the VXT edit. I think this UI stands out so much. You'll see the portraits are still there just because I've gone through the installer. So we'll need to go through it all and refresh. But VXT had actually shared some custom color codes that he used in one of his profiles. And he shared that with Tech UI Discord, and I've added them into this profile. So the class colors will all look a little bit different. And nice, we have some classes here so you can take a look at some of them. And you'll be able to come in here and take a look as well. But this is probably one of my favorite profiles ever. This is one that I actually just made an edit to earlier today, where there's so much you can do with these, right? Like if you don't like the info panel on top, you don't like the class icon, there's so much you can do where you can come into Uniframes, individual units, the power, if you don't want it that high, bring it down. If you don't want the info panel, click this off. Keep in mind you'll have to go into custom text, and most of these will be on the info panel. So if you do make a change to that, if you take off info panel and then you're like missing all these texts, just keep in mind you'll have to come in and make the adjustment here. That goes especially for the info panel profile. There's a lot of text that's included there, so if you turn that off, you'll have to go in and adjust each one. But not too big of a headache. It's fairly simple. Group units, I'll show the party frames. Same thing with the raid debuff indicator here. And the buffs for the party are showing here on the left hand side. Now I mainly heal, so I like to keep track of these things like buffs. I also use Omni CD here on the side to show cooldowns and things like that. So if these aren't things that are important to you, come in and disable them. Raid frames. And just to show you like some things that you can do here, I'm going to pull up the Reddit post that I put on today, because I actually just made a quick edit of this profile and took off the info panels. And so, let me pull this up. Here's what you can do. Like this is just purely off of that profile, and I will update a details profile that matches the colors here. But there's so much you can do, and this goes for all the different profiles. If there's something you think of or want to make a change, go for it. But I love this. It's something I'm gonna maybe include in the installer as well. We'll see. But I'm super stoked, super happy to get this over to everyone to leverage and to use. Join the Discord. Give me some of your feedback. The Discord also has a support channel. Now, I work full-time. I have a family. I may not be able to provide the level of support that some of the other installer and plugin owners have. But we'll do our best. We have an awesome community as well that have been using the Gibberish profiles for a while, and they're willing to help. So we have such an awesome team. I'm just super stoked. So thank you all. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. A lot more coming where I'm going to show you how I go through and customize step by step. And then I'll also include some of the like how-tos of installing details, of installing some of the things that Eltruism has here. So I mean, there's so much that you can do, including, as I mentioned at the start, if you want to use Eltruism details, which looks very similar to mine, that's what mine is based off of. I've just made some simple changes to the font and also to the icons. But you can come into Eltruism and go into add-ons and apply profiles for dynamic cam, immersion, warp deplete, capping, gladius, nameplate, scrolling comebacks, text, details. Again, he has 3 separate profiles that you can take a look at. Bigwigs, DBM, method raid tools, win tool. Like, there's so much here. And there is so much to Eltruism, including custom gradient colors like we've used here for all these different classes. To Uniframe colors and Caspar colors, nameplate colors. He has a full nameplate setup that you can go and implement into your profile. So I wanted to make sure to call this out because Eltruism has a lot that you can do, and same with Blinky's profile. So I'll be making some other videos. Thanks everyone for watching. Looking forward to the next one, and we'll see you guys there.